Welcome to this week's discussion on capital investment decisions. For this week, you'll be looking at how to calculate, make recommendations based on payback, net present value, internal rate of return, profitability index. You'll learn how to explain the advantages and disadvantages of each capital budgeting technique. You'll be able to determine relevant cash flows for a proposed investment decision, and how to calculate the true costs and the forecasted costs, and ultimately the net present value of that project. Welcome to this week's discussion. This week we are covering Chapter 10, which includes capital budgeting techniques to make financial decisions. How do we go about doing that? And more importantly, for this week's discussion, I want to focus on the last goal. How do we prioritize projects under capital rationing, and whether or not we can apply mixed economic perspective to our capital investment decisions. For example, Doughnut Economics would be a concept model that one might apply to the planning process within a corporation. Currently, the primary measure of economic health in this country is the gross national product. We see a growth in the gross national product and we think everything is going just fine. But this statistic doesn't really include the economic health of non-paying jobs. Part of the economics model that we relate to the social infrastructure, the elderly care, home health care, elderly care, unemployed students, stay-at-home moms, so on. All of these resources are being consumed for the health of the community, yet don't get reflected into national statistics. In contrast to linear slopes of GNP and other linear measurements, the mixed economic system looks at a variety of things, both aspects of capitalism and socialism combined. So not only does the mixed system encourage capital investments in free market enterprise, it also includes impact on the social infrastructure as well as the environmental aspects of any investment decision. One of the things that a mixed economic model will do for a company is consider the impact of either the production, the distribution, or the reclamation of their product, the product life cycles. What is the impact on the social infrastructure of the community that they serve or the community that they take natural resources from? We have to consider price controls and subsidies. What are the price controls and subsidies related to that particular segment of the business that we're currently interested in? Also, we need to know what the regulations and how are the regulations moving. One of the biggest opportunities for free market enterprise is recognizing a need within the marketplace based on or created by business regulations. Today I'll be introducing the concept of mixed economic models by using Doughnut Economics model by Kate Rayworth. The model is a concept map that provides corporations, organizations to look at investment decisions in a way that includes impact on the community or the environment. Our challenge in the 21st century is to find that balance between the factors of production, the natural resources, the sustainability of the environment, and the sustainability of a society as a whole where everyone participates in the economic health of the country or community. The green space on Kate's model represents the area of existence for humanity in the environment where there's that balance that is safe. It provides a social infrastructure support for all the elements that we need to support the society. On one hand, the outside of the donut represents the ecological ceiling, as the middle of the donut represents the social foundation. And everything within that donut are aspects of social conditions that are falling through the cracks. The elements of the 9 planetary boundaries are those environmental aspects or conditions that we're currently monitoring in regards to quality of lifestyle on this planet. It includes ozone depletion, loss of the biosphere, chemical pollution, climate change, ocean acidification, and freshwater consumption, as well as land system changes. 12 of the goals identified by the United Nations includes no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean ocean and water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth conditions, in industry innovation, inequalities, sustainable communities, and responsible consumption and production. The Doughnut Economic Model is based on a regenerative design. Rather than taking natural resources out of the environment and producing a lot of waste, it takes the products from the factors of production and natural resources and extends the product life cycle or recycles the pieces of the process or uses recycled goods and parts of the process. So the economic model of Doughnut Economics is what is known as a regenerative system. The Doughnut Economic Model is based on a distributive design rather than a hierarchical or a strong central control and command center. The distributive design is looking at partners. It's looking at ways to collectively engage resources that are geared at making the community a safer and better place to live. There are 3 key principles of circularity related to the distributive reclamation model, the process by which we take waste and reintroduce it back into the production system, either with that particular project or with other projects. Beverage production companies are examples of products that can consume up to 1 million gallons a day from a community's water table. In California, for example, water is being rationed to corporations and to farms and farmers. For example, in one part of the Sacramento area, the water restrictions have led to severe droughts with the farmers in that same area. They can't even water their livestock or the plants to feed them because the water restrictions are lowering that water table for everyone in that community. The question before us today and to the Tampa Bay community is, can we live within the donut? How can we take steps to include impact in the community and environment in our business decisions in Tampa Bay? When we think about how to apply Doughnut Economics to our discussions on the local economy, the health of the social infrastructure as well as the environment, is that we can start now by identifying things that we can stop doing right away. There's some other things that we can start doing. And what level of our involvement do we want to pursue? Is it in a community, a neighborhood, or is it the entire Tampa Bay region? The task at hand is talk it over. What do you think? What do you see in the community that is not being met in terms of basic survival skills or needs in our community? What agencies are we involved with that are addressing these needs? And what other kind of things can we consider for making capital decisions in Tampa Bay? And how do we go about implementing those? Thank you. I'll see you online, and I look forward to seeing your discussion questions.